Does it hurt? Yes. Yes. Everything hurts. And they told me I can't sleep on this side, but this side hurt more than this side. So I was sleeping on this side. Okay, I know my hair is, I know I need to put my hair up, but I don't care. I'm going to get surgery tomorrow.
He's not only with me to get away with this, the case is already closed. So if he wants to leave, he can leave.
In July 2024, TikToker Zahara Hashimi was shot in the face by her boyfriend, Ladarius Deno Brown Lee. She miraculously survived, sparking an outpouring of support and a viral #JusticeForZahara campaign. But just when everyone expected Zahara to testify and bring Deno to justice, the story took a wild turn. Not only did she refuse to testify, she publicly defended him. Even more jaw-dropping, they seemingly got back together. Now, as Zahara breaks down on social media over the apparent split, people are left stunned, confused, and deeply divided. Was it love, manipulation, or something even darker? Let's explore. So this emotional spiral was triggered by people online saying that Deno is only sticking around to keep Zahara from pressing more charges, like it was a legal strategy. Others figure he is biding his time, waiting out his probation, and then planning to dip. And then there are the ones who believe he is staying in some twisted way to convince himself or her that what happened wasn't that bad. But Zahara is fighting this, telling her followers that the case was closed, and if Deno wanted to leave, he could.
He's not only with me to get away with this, the case is already closed. So if he wants to leave, he can leave. Yes, I'm going to be sad as fuck, but if he wants to leave, he can leave because life goes on. Time doesn't wait on anybody. So you think that I'm going to spend my whole life being depressed because of what I'm going through? And don't even tell me, okay, who put you through that? Okay, regardless, that's what I'm going through. I don't care.
But despite all that, people aren't buying it, because what happened wasn't some petty relationship drama. It was serious. Now, for those who have not been following this case, it goes back to the night of July 5th, 2024, just past midnight. It was supposed to be the end of a festive 4th of July weekend in Flower Mound, Texas. But instead of fireworks, the town was rocked by something far more sinister. At exactly 12:49 a.m., a frantic 911 call came through. The dispatcher on the line could barely make out the panicked voice of a man, trembling and breathless. When officers arrived at the 1800 block of Flower Mound Road, they found 28-year-old Sadea Hashimi, known to most by her nickname, Zahara. The scene was chaotic. Sirens, flashing red and blue lights, a woman bleeding out, and a man frozen in shock. That man was 29-year-old Ladarius Brownlee, who goes by Deno. Zahara was rushed to a local hospital in critical condition, fighting for her life. Meanwhile, Ladarius was taken into custody on the spot. But what unfolded before the gun went off? That's where the story gets even darker. Earlier that night, Zahara and Ladarius were at the Independence Day Festival at Bakersfield, laughing, snapping selfies, dressed in red, white, and blue. On social media, she looked radiant and happy, but what the camera didn't capture was the tension building between the couple. Witnesses say it started small, just bickering as they left the fireworks show. But soon the argument turned heated, screaming, pushing, chaos. Those close to the couple say Ladarius got aggressive, forcing Zahara into the back of his 2024 Chevrolet Blazer. They drove off into the dark, and according to the police, the argument didn't stop. She and Ladarius were going back and forth, voices raising, cutting each other with words that probably can't be taken back. And just under 3 miles from the festival, Ladarius suddenly pulled over. In a fit of rage, Ladarius reached into the driver's side door and pulled out a tan Glock pistol. And then with no warning, a shot rang out. Just one, but it was all it took. Zahara was hit point blank just above her right eye. By sunrise, the story had already broken news alerts, local headlines, social media. It was everywhere. And it wasn't long before people put two and two together. Wait, isn't that Deno and Zahara from TikTok? The couple that everyone thought was goals? Yeah, them. The same @Deno and Zahara page that once fed their 155,000 followers a steady diet of playful banter, dancing videos, and skits was now at the center of a violent crime. A relationship that once looked like it was built on laughter and love had ended in bloodshed, and TikTok was shook. So TikTok did what TikTok always does, turned into a full-blown investigation hub. People went back to their old videos and started rewatching them, but this time with different eyes. Suddenly, all those little moments that once seemed funny or just a couple being silly, yeah, they hit different. What used to be brushed off as playful teasing started to feel uncomfortable. Like maybe that wasn't a joke. Maybe it was something darker. Controlling behavior, subtle jabs, Zahara laughing a little too hard. You could start to see it, tension in her body language, hesitation in her eyes, smiles that didn't quite reach her face. And when people put it all together, it got even more disturbing. Now, on the outside, Deno and Zahara looked like TikTok's it couple. Laughing in their car, holding hands at the mall. It was the kind of content that made you go, oh, they're so real, so in love. Their joint account was full of inside jokes, couple challenges, and sweet little captions that made you feel like you knew them. At first glance, yeah, it looked genuine, but the deeper you go, the more that perfect picture starts to crack.
So you already told me that you're not gonna, so like if I died today and it was your fault you didn't marry me, you're not gonna be buried next to me, you're gonna go be buried next to your wife? Okay, go. Then go get your wife. What the fuck you need me for?
Okay, no,
go find your wife. Go find your wife.
Okay.
I'm not doing this no more.
Hey.
I'm about to be mad the rest of the damn night. I don't want to talk to you no more. I don't want to see you. Go ahead and go find you your wife since.
And it's not loud, it's quiet. It's the pauses in between their jokes. It's in the sharp way Deno's tone would suddenly shift when he got irritated. And the more you watch, the harder it is to explain away. In one video, Ladarius has Zahara in what looks like a chokehold. She struggles, she punches him, trying to break free, and the scary part is it's all caught on camera.
Go to sleep.
No, you go to sleep.
In another clip, the mood is different, but the energy is just as off. The whole exchange is dripping with contempt. And then there's this video.
The stupidest shit. This shit don't even look good right here. I can't even see you.
I don't want anymore.
I can't even see you.
Give it to me. I don't
nah,
like,
I can't see you.
I don't like how mean
Stand
you
that way.
are.
Now you want me to, now you sit over and talk about how mean. If you look at this video, get.
There was a weight to their interactions that felt off. Looking back, some of those moments weren't just red flags, they were flashing warning signs. Because according to friends and people close to the couple, what played out on camera was only part of the story. Behind closed doors, their relationship was turbulent. Zahara survived, barely. Somehow, after being shot point blank in the head, she clung to life. For days, she lay in a hospital bed, unmoving. Doctors were not optimistic. Family were told to prepare for the worst, say their goodbyes. And then something shifted. Her sister Sarah shared an update on social media that stopped everyone in their tracks. Zahara awake, stable, breathing on her own. Not out of the woods, not by a long shot, but fighting. But even in that moment of hope, Sarah made one thing very clear. The family wouldn't be sharing anything about her relationship because the truth, Zahara had survived something unthinkable.
Does it hurt? Yes. Yes. Everything hurts. And they told me I can't sleep on this side, but this side hurt more than this side. So I was sleeping on this side. Okay, I know my hair is, I know I need to put my hair up, but I don't care. I'm going to get surgery tomorrow.
While Zahara was learning to walk again, learning to live again, Ladarius was sitting behind bars. Denton County Jail, orange jumpsuit, dead-eyed mugshot. No TikTok filter could soften that look. $900,000 bond. No way out. He kept quiet after the confession on his lawyer's orders, of course, but the damage was done. The internet knew. The witnesses had spoken. This wasn't a one-night blow-up. This was a long pattern of control, of violence, of Zahra shrinking herself to keep the peace. People were furious, heartbroken, invested. Her sister set up a GoFundMe to help cover the mounting hospital bills, writing, "Dear friends, family, and kind-hearted strangers, I am reaching out with a heavy heart and a plea for help. My sister, Zahra Hashimi, has recently faced a major health crisis and is in urgent need of support to cover her hospital and rehabilitation costs. Zahra is a vibrant, loving, and strong individual who has always been there for others, whether it's helping friends in need, volunteering in the community, or just being a shoulder to lean on. She has touched so many lives with her kindness and generosity. Now she needs our help more than ever." And the community came through for her. People were dropping what they could, $5, $20, whatever they had, not just to heal, but to come back stronger. They were ready to see her walk into that courtroom, tell her story, and look him dead in the eye as justice was finally served. But then, yeah, here's where it all takes a hard left. February 2025, Ladarius Deno Brownlee pleads guilty. That part? Expected. Through his lawyer, Ladarius said the shooting was an accident. Yep, an accident. Never mind the fact that he pointed it at her, never mind that the trigger was pulled. That was the story. Everyone thought that since Zahra was now able to speak, she would clear the air, that she would stand up, tell her story, and let the truth cut through all the noise. But that moment never came. She didn't take the stand, she didn't dispute his story, and just like that, everything shifted. The survivor everyone rallied behind wasn't saying what people expected. And then it got worse, because that so-called accident, the courts rolled with it. Ladarius, the man who shot his girlfriend in the head, walked out of court with nothing but 10 years probation. That outcome was built on the idea that it wasn't intentional, that it was just a tragic mistake. But the real jaw-dropper came after, because Zahra, still in recovery, still healing, suddenly popped up on TikTok.
No one knows how sweet Dino is. I swear to God, no one knows. You weren't in the car, you weren't driving, you weren't anywhere. And do people even know where I was at? Do you? No. The ones that read the whole story and they're educated in the story, okay. But everybody else, no. You don't know what happened. Because why? I'm a Capricorn. So why do I need to stick up for someone that doesn't need to be stuck up for?
Right.
And why is he out? Tell me that. Tell me that.
Period.
It took 7 months and a week and he got out. Why though? Oh, okay. People are telling me that they pray for me because I'm delusional. And I said, me?
Right.
I appreciate the prayers, but I don't appreciate you telling me that you're praying for me because I'm delusional.
Needless to say, people who had supported her, donated, prayed, and reposted the hashtag felt betrayed. How could she stand by someone who did this to her? TikTok exploded. No one was buying the accident narrative, but Zahra, she was holding the line. And then came the whispers that they were back together. But then they started appearing on TikTok together, joking and smiling, just like nothing had happened. Zahra had taken back the man who nearly ended her life. And when I say the internet lost it, that doesn't even begin to cover it. People were stunned, confused, and angry because Zahra's story had gone from one of survival to one of reconciliation with her abuser. And the question on everyone's mind? Why would she go back? There were whispers that staying with him kept her name in the algorithm, but not everyone was trying to psychoanalyze it. Some folks were just mad, straight up angry. They felt like Zahra was sending a dangerous message.
That man shot you in your head, Zara. Shot you in your head.
Still, Zahra, she wasn't backing down. In fact, she made it clear any decision she made in her own life was hers.
Any decision I make in my own life, okay? In my own life, okay? In my own life, and if you're screen recording me, tell them that I can't speak, so I have to tell you guys in my own life, and that has nothing to do with you guys, doesn't mean I'm a bad person. So everyone knows my mom is in love with Dino. So you guys can quit asking that question. She is in love with Dino.
But just when people thought this whole situation couldn't get more complicated, it did. Because Zahra started saying things that suggested maybe she felt partially to blame for what happened that night.
I got shot right there. So I have a TBI, I have traumatic brain injury, and I'm still learning how to talk again. People are like, I'm so confused. You're confused because there's two sides of the story.
Yes,
you're gonna believe the cops. You're gonna believe the cops, or you're gonna believe everyone that was there except, you know, this girl, but whatever. But when we tell the story, you're gonna know. And Dino has everything that they gave him in court, and he even has the body cameras. I think I hurt myself, if you want me to be completely honest. I'm not yes, I am the victim of my dad. And I am the victim of what happened to me. But why am I the victim? I take accountability for what I do. I don't blame everyone else for doing stuff in my life. I take accountability for what I do in my own life that leads up to someone doing something in my life.
It's honestly heartbreaking, but also super common. Victims of abuse often end up blaming themselves for what happened. It becomes a toxic cycle where they start justifying their abuser's actions without even realizing it. And after all of the noise, Deno finally popped up to share his side.
I'm just here to address the fact that, no, I did not do anything on purpose, because had this situation been something that was intentional, I wouldn't be right here talking to y'all right now. You feel me? And people know that. But first offer I took, yes, I went with it. You know what I'm saying? First offer I got, I took it. It's a process. You want me to sit in? I'm not finna sit in jail because that shit lame in here, that shit garbage in here. I'm not sitting in there waiting to go to trial and do all this shit. Like, I'm still black, cause it's more to this shit than what y'all know. You know what I'm saying? And it really ain't y'all motherfucking business.
Still, a lot of people watching this unfold are hoping, praying even, that Zahra eventually sees things for what they are. Because whether it was an accident or not, someone pointing a gun at you, that's not love. That's a red flag you can't ignore. And when someone who says they love you can hurt you that deeply, what else are they capable of? But what do you guys think? Was this really a tragic accident, or do you believe he meant to pull that trigger? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, because this one is heavy. And if you're into deep dives like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next one.